The officials, Jim Burr in his 7th Final Four. Ted Valentine in his 4th straight Final Four. And Jody Sylvester at the Final Four for the 3rd time. And they all drew the championship game assignment. We're underway for the national championship.
Check the matchups. It's Parks on Williamson. And Grant Hill not playing anybody. He's playing a one-man zone, so he's going to let Biley roam free.
Williamson tried to dump it inside. He really impressed us Saturday with his passing. Biley dumps it back in to the Big Nasty they know him as.
Beautiful block by Parks.
Whoa. Grant Hill fell right on his rump.
Now, Jim, the last time that we had a major player go down in a Final Four, and there you can see his mom and dad, Calvin Hill just looks up at the sky, it was Bobby Wilkerson in Indiana in 1976. Went down early in that first half of the game, lost for Indiana for the game, but they came back and won a championship. This kid's a tough kid, though.
Just 20 seconds into the game.
You can see the great job defensively by Cherokee Parks. He made Corliss Williamson change the shot. Grant comes down. Not only did he hit on his back, but he hit his elbow as well. Grant's going to have to sit down. He'd probably move around. He has to come out of the game, or Mike Krzyzewski has to call a timeout. So sub in.
Marty Clark is the sub. 6'6" senior. There he is from Western Springs, Illinois. He gave him 8 points off the bench against Florida and Duke basketball.
And Jim, the reason that was Arkansas's ball is that Grant Hill had the ball in his possession, fell to the floor, his automatic walk.
Capel against Beck. How about that matchup, Billy?
Well, asking a freshman to do a lot against one of the best ball defenders in the country. But here's that 5-second count I talked about. An advantage for Duke and a change in the rule.
Collins back out to Clark. Cherokee. Rebound over to Stewart.
Both teams a little tight.
Grant Hill about to check back in. Here's Williamson. Banging bodies, comes up short.
Oh, great offensive board.
Second try. Capel with the rebound for the Blue Devils.
And Jim, Grant Hill up on the sidelines, ready to come back in. Duke trying to throw cross court, getting a man open.
Lang for the first points.
Cherokee Parks picks up a cheap first foul, something that he can ill afford to do. There's no sense that he should be challenging a Corey Beck in the backcourt. Not a good mental play on his part.
Grant Hill right back in. In for Clark. Here's Biley.
Trying to post up on Grant Hill. Give the advantage Hill there.
Whistle away from the ball. They're going to call it on Dwight Stewart of Arkansas for pushing off.
Now Biley stays in the game. Be interesting to see how long Nolan Richardson goes with the senior. He's on Grant Hill.
Hill has played the point during his career at Duke at times.
Jim, Biley can afford to foul and play very aggressively against Hill. He knows he's not going to get a lot of minutes tonight, so don't worry about chopping him a little bit early. There was one.
Lang underneath. Rejected by Williamson. Ball on the line. It belongs to Duke.
Excellent play by Corliss Williams, coming over to help on the weak side. Perfect timing, but smacks the ball down and out of bounds. Arkansas goes zone out of bounds.
Beck stripped it away. And that pass thrown away by Williamson. Two minutes in, Arkansas without a point, but 3 turnovers. Parks on the blocks. Strong over to Stewart now. Razorbacks running.
Corliss Williamson often beats his man down the floor. He has this time as well. Cherokee doesn't get there in time.
Blitz between Hill and Parks and traveled.
But it's nice when you don't get down floor in time and you have Grant Hill to pick up your man. He can defend any one of 5 positions. Hand checking out here, not called.
Double up, leave Capel open. Freshman launches a 3. 5-0 Duke.
Capel coming off that brilliant performance against Purdue. What put this club in the Final Four?
Tough pass, got away from Biley. Thurman, good shooter. Arkansas on the board with a 2.
Boy, he is so solid. Plays with great composure to Scotty Thurman. I would bet you that they're going to call hand check. And you can tell it coming, Jim. I'm probably a second behind myself there, but this is a good concept by Arkansas. Go ahead and check Grant Hill as much as possible because Biley can afford the fouls.
And they'll bring in Clint McDaniel, who has been a super sub during the NCAA.
We talk about hand checking. You see right here, he's got 2 hands on him. And right there, without question, he gets called for it, but probably part of the assignment.
Hill.
He loves that leaner.
There's Beck. He'll take it to the paint. Good move.
Beck does not look to shoot enough, according to Nolan Richardson, and you can see he has the ability with that power body that's trimmed down to 190 from 220 to do it.
Great dish. Capel to Hill. Freshman with the assist. Hill's first points. Capel did not have an assist against Florida, but a beautiful one that time.
Backcourt had 1 assist the entire game. Hart so far has altered Williamson's shot on 2 occasions inside.
He'll do that to you, Billy. He's had a knack for blocking shots all season, setting a Duke single-season mark. Had 10 in 1 game this year against Clemson. Backing in, Williamson tipped it in the second time.
Corliss so quick on the second leap for a man taking that much up in the air. Much as Charles Barkley does. He doesn't like to think of himself as Barkley. He likes to think of himself as Larry Johnson. Either one pretty good.
Collins to the corner. Hill has it stripped. Thurman.
Great defensive play.
Good passing. Williamson to Stewart. That's what we talked about early, Billy. Corliss showing some really great passing skills here at the Final Four.
And not only makes them when he's in the low post, that time he made it on a break. Had 5 assists against Arizona.
McDaniel almost stripped it. Here's Collins coming up short.
Arkansas showing a style of play today more like the 40 minutes of hell. When they go small, they're quick.
Beck did not challenge Hill with the shot. Still Arkansas basketball. The Razorbacks have taken their first lead here at 8-7. Couple of coaching masters through the years. That's Jack Gardner on the left, Ray Meyer on the right. Jack Gardner coached in 4 Final Fours, Billy. 2 for Kansas State, 2 for Utah, and he's been to all of them.
Been to 56 Final Fours in person. And you talk about a coach never getting tired of coaching. I was at Mass with Ray Meyer on Sunday, and he said, if I had Arkansas's talent, I'd like to be back out there on the bench.
Doesn't get out of your blood, that's for sure. Lang with the hoop. He goes over now with that basket. Over 1,000 on his career. The 40th Duke player ever, which is tied for the most with North Carolina.
There's that 3-point shot of Stewart's.
Lang up and over. McDaniel for the rebound. Duke on a break. Capel traveled first. Took a little extra skip, Billy.
And Jim, the reason that he did, and Corliss Williamson does not get enough credit for this. I have not seen a man of his size go from offense to defense and vice versa as quick as he does. He gets back on defense and he beats you down court on offense, and he forced that walk. Another solid screen call. Second solid screen called on Arkansas today, and there's Williamson holding his ground, just taking Lang out of the way.
So that's actually called on Williamson. And Marty Clark is in.
So we have a change by Mike Krzyzewski. We'll talk about the battle of the wits. He's gone with Marty Clark for more minutes. Collins out of there. And now goes big with Meek in there to give Cherokee Parks a rest. Meek not capable of giving the inside offense to Duke.
What does that tell you about Parks?
Oh, I just think that Mike's trying to rest him as long as he can with the score close.
That's called on Grant Hill.
The game, Jim, is an adjustment the players and the coaches have to make. The game is being called very tightly by the officials. So both the coaches and the players have to make a quick adjustment here. Keep your hands off.
Underneath Beck on the block.
Second time today, Beck has taken a guard into the hole. Once on the break and now in the low post.
Beck, the player, Nolan Richardson says, if he had an NBA team, he'd be the first guard I'd take because he knows how to win and how to make other people win. Clark, three-pointer. There's Beck at the other end, Billy.
Great rebound.
Too long on the pass, however. The player that reminds me the most of myself, says Coach Richardson.
And there you see the pass. At this stage in the game, worth the attempt because Arkansas wants to get this tempo going a little quicker than it is right now. Now Duke goes big with Meek and Parks in the game at the same time, and Nolan Richardson counters by bringing in Robinson.
Parks back, Darnell Robinson, freshman in, 44 for Arkansas. There's Parks with position.
Good hand control by Parks. Scotty Thurman had a piece, but not strong enough to take it away.
Tip by Hill, and a hold call broke away the chance for Duke to get a fast break bucket.
I said the referees are calling hand-checking tight. That's Parks' second foul, both cheap variety. The players have to be aware of the way the game's being called.
McDaniel. Three-pointer.
That's a big turnaround for Duke. They were off on a fast break. They end up getting a foul and hitting a three.
Parks backing in, sets up Collins. Open three-pointer. Parks tipped it. Robinson chases it down. He was on the line when he corralled it in the corner. Duke basketball. Collins misfiring, Billy. He's on a real cold streak right now.
He really is, Jim. He had 20 points in the first-round game against Texas Southern, and since that time has not been able to find the mark at all.
Lang returns. There you see it, 1 of 17. Lang back in for the Devils.
Grant Hill has not really gotten settled in as to what he wants to do offensively as a scorer. Own defense.
That's called on Alex Dillard, who has come in. Little guy they call Grandpa on the team. 6'1" junior from Alabama, age 25. He's the third leading scorer for the Razorbacks. He fired up 7 threes in the semifinal as Lang hits from the inside.
How about that? Both teams scoring off inbounds plays.
Let's see if Dillard gets a chance to shoot. Again, he shot 7 the other night and made 2 of them. Robinson. Hill got a hand on it, and it's going against Arkansas.
Robinson surprised at Grant Hill with his tremendous defensive ability. I said he can play 5 positions. There he stopped the center.
Officials timeout. Game's tied.
Thurman has to be aware of what's behind him. Now watch, Lang goes inside. Robertson has his eyes away from the basket, and the bounce pass goes right in behind for an easy basket. He doesn't see where the men are. Behind him comes Lang. Easy 2.
Lang has 6 points for Duke. Some say, Billy, as Lang goes, so goes Duke.
Well, I think he has to stay in the game. He's got to play a 30-minute game. And there's one that Mike Krzyzewski wanted.
Collins with a three-pointer at the other end. Clark batted it in. Made some play to get down court.
But how about Williams? Does he run the floor or not? He goes 80 feet as fast as any man his size I've seen, and he really makes an effort to get down there.
No one beats him down to the offensive end. Solid minutes off the bench again.
Marty Clark came into the Final Four, had not scored in the 2 previous games in the regional. Came up big against Florida.
Turnover. McDaniel threw it away.
Marty Clark smacks it, reverberates off the board, and with a proper spin goes in.
Davor Rimac is in from Croatia. He was an exchange student in high school and spent his junior year living at the Richardson House in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Could not live at the house his senior year because then he was being recruited by Arkansas.
Recruitable athlete. Father a coach in Europe. And an outstanding tennis player, Jim, as well. Won the state tennis championship in Arkansas. This is not a good idea for Lang to challenge out here against the Fed. He's just too quick for him.
McDaniel reached around. His first.
Jim, McDaniel has great hands, great footwork. Not a good idea for Antonio Lang to challenge him out in this area. And you can see McDaniel doesn't quite get there. The next foul for Arkansas, as you can see, puts Duke in that 1-and-1 already. One of the trademarks of their team. There's the 2-3 zone.
We're approaching the midway point of the first half with Duke leading by 3. Lang sets it up corner. Collins. Meek with his 4th rebound. No call. Lang tries to save it, and that's a double dribble. Travel.
That was a smart play by Antonio Lang, though, Jim. He realized that maybe he could make the great play by saving it, but if he was wrong, Arkansas would have been off to the races on a fast break.
Cherokee back. Capel also. The 2 starters in for Clark and Meek.
We're better off having that type of turnover than having a turnover that leads directly to an easy basket.
Robinson lobs it. Beck, he's got a tower right over him. Parks gets the rebound. Altered the shot and pulled down the board. Capel looking for help. He finds it in Lang. And now Arkansas has tied its largest deficit of the entire tournament. They're down 5. McDaniel.
Jim, Arkansas has got to get back to getting that ball down to Corliss Williamson. All of a sudden he hasn't touched it. That is their game. Lang thinks he can take Robinson. No, with the dribble.
Cutting through McDaniel. Right back Capel. Corner. Collins. 3. Rimac on the wing. McDaniel.
Beck is on the floor. Got a chance for numbers here, but Duke does not want to run.
Grant Hill, 11 minutes into this game, Billy, has 2 points. And a blocking foul called against Lang. Tried to set a pick over here.
3rd blocking call of the night. 2 against Arkansas, 1 against Duke. So no sense set solid screens. They're going to be called tight.
Thurman back. McDaniel out. Lee Wilson in for Williamson. Wilson, 6'11", freshman from Waco, Texas.
Nolan Richardson going to that bench with some unusual combinations here early, Jim.
Stewart also back in, his high school teammate at Fairleigh High School in Memphis, dribbling the ball right now. Corey Beck.
I have not seen this team on the floor for Arkansas so far in the tournament.
Stewart, turnaround. Tipped up by the freshman Wilson, who just entered the game.
The Duke bench wanting offensive goaltending. They don't get the call.
Grant gives it up. Good time. Parks in 1.
Now, Jim, you mentioned about Grant Hill's point production, but once again, he shows his versatility. The shot goes up by Stewart. We'll see if Wilson gets a piece on the rim. Oh, I believe he did. And there's Grant looking at the basket, freezing Wilson inside, so he gets caught a step on Parks and can't get back in time.
First on Wilson. Parks in his 100th game at Duke. Schooled as a freshman by Christian Laettner. He hated him that year, Billy, but now they're friends, and he realizes how much Christian really helped him out.
Well, Christian, one of the all-time competitors, and just challenged him every day.
Thurman with a sweet jumper on the side.
All-SEC performer 2 years in a row. Freshman of the year last year in the league. Certain to be an All-American before he gets out of Arkansas. Here we see the zone matching up with a lot of traps. It'll be interesting to see if Duke tries to get Grant Hill on the foul line against this zone.
Marty Clark, corner, way short.
Perfect pass, though.
Lang on the line.
It wasn't a pass, an intended pass, but it was a perfect pass and surprised Cherokee Parks.
That young man, Antonio Lang, has 8 points, and Duke has a 3-point edge. Attempted. Field goal percentages in the 40s. Among those here, Kevin Costner, wondering whose court of dreams this would be tonight. Arkansas or Duke playing for the title.
Lang on Thurman, and that puts Grant Hill on Stewart. Now what Mike Krzyzewski wants here is for Grant to be available to go cover somebody else, but this is a tough thing to do because Stewart has that great three-point shot. You can't get away from him too much.
Remots got a pick to help clear the shot. Duke almost tipped it in. Stewart once. Stewart again. Good play by Dwight Stewart.
He and Wilson played volleyball with it up there against Duke. Again, Arkansas traffic.
They leave Clark open. Lang tips it out over to Wilson.
Wilson giving some solid minutes to Nolan Richardson here tonight.
Rebound to Grant Hill.
Again, without Williamson in the game, Arkansas not really getting into the flow with their normal half-court offense. And Duke not getting the ball in Grant Hill's hands in scoring position.
Cherokee, that's what you call scoring position.
The bounce pass by Capel right on the money. Duke is getting penetration through that matchup zone that's a little bit too easy.
That strained tendon in Cherokee's left knee doesn't appear to be a factor right now.
There's the shot.
Stewart will step in for one.
Jim, it shocked me that Stewart did not take the three. Here's Cherokee getting his steps, good position, sits down, catches the ball, realizes it could be blocked, so dunks. Tried to pick up the foul as well.
Corliss Williamson in for the Razorbacks. 5:50 remaining in the first half.
Jim, they go 1-3-1 zone, so Nolan Richardson's showing us a little bit of everything.
That leaves Capel open. He's hit one already. Too strong. Wilson with his 4th rebound off the bench.
Beck trying to push it up to get some tempo started for his team.
Thurman.
Lang's open. But look at who's back. Williamson. What a runner.
Who we tried to go behind the back.
Hit his foot. Jim came back and hit Capel in the foot. This is a sensational defensive play by the man we've been talking about, who gets down the court on both ends. You can see Capel tried to make a big play that wasn't there. Made the behind-the-back pass against Purdue that was effective. That one not a good idea.
Wilson leans in. 4 points, 4 rebounds. Not the production they didn't necessarily expected from this man, this freshman.
Well, Jim, we talked about the bench. Nolan Richardson has supreme confidence in every guy on that squad. He doesn't mind using them for extended periods.
He says, I don't want anyone to ever think we're predictable. Here's Hill, hacked on the shot by Beck. First on Beck.
And Jim, to give you an idea about how Nolan Richardson uses his team, there are 4 players on Duke's squad that average more minutes per game than any player on the Arkansas squad.
No one on Arkansas even averages 30 minutes a game.
Corliss Williamson at 28.9, the most of anybody. And their third leading scorer, Dillard, only averages 12 minutes a game.
Hill, who talked about this weekend how he wants that 3rd championship ring, so we'll have one more than Leitner and Hurley. He says, I can brag about it when we go to the beach this summer. They all reunite every summer at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He says, I want to be the one there with 3 rings.
Good rebound by McDaniel. Boy, he's got quick feet. Come on. Williamson getting position on Grant Hill.
Williamson inside. Duke had Parks and Hill around him, but they fed it in there just in time.
I love that Williamson took that challenge of Grant Hill and just handled him inside. Here's the 1-3-1 trap again.
Lang open.
Beautiful passing by Hill. Lang showing his experience, Jim, knowing where the holes are in that zone.
Hill stripped it outside, and Capel running. Here comes Capel. Beck challenging. Capel.
Terrific job by the freshman, because Corey Beck is a tremendous defender.
And the Duke team slaps its hands on the floor for an extra lift of defense. Blocked. Williamson knocked the Duke player down. Knocked down Parks, but he banks it home. 29-27 Duke.
How about the timing on that block by Lang, Jim?
Ooh. Capel fired it in the corner. Officials timeout, and here's the play by the freshman point.
And he knows Beck's behind him.
He was on the mound earlier today, throwing out the first pitch in Cleveland. Here's a guy who knew a thing or two about being on the mound, Sandy Koufax.
A Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. Looks like he's got a nice tan, nice and relaxed. Not like the hitters that used to have to face him. Jim, I don't know if I've seen Corey Beck be this aggressive offensively in the first half of the game in a while.
Game's tied at 29.
Grant Hill posting up down low.
Capel. Tipped up Meek.
He had Stewart on his hip. Terrific extension.
Meek now trying to defend Williamson. Boy, once Williamson gets it right there on the block with your defender behind it, it's over.
Well, Eric Meek took up boxing in the offseason to improve his footwork, and he's up against a heavyweight now that I don't think is going to be knocked out.
Williamson has made his last 4 shots. Here's Hill at the other end. 2-pointer.
Scotty Thurman got caught in a switch. Looks like Capel's getting tired out there, Jim. Asking him to extend a lot of minutes, both ends. Well, they're looking for Corliss Williamson now, and he constantly moves for position.
Hill. Beck was battling for it. Hill takes it away. Krzyzewski said, we're not going to be fresh Monday night after what we had to put out against Florida, so our concentration Monday must be perfect. Capel, and he threw it away.
Well, there's a case where Jeff has to understand the footwork of Meek. He is not as quick as Cherokee, so he makes his turn. He's not going to be able to jump back in there and create another passing lane. Kind of like a freight train going down the tracks. Not very maneuverable.
McDaniel and Dillard in the Arkansas backcourt now. Thurman, 3.
Smooth stroke of Scotty Thurman.
All SEC in both basketball and all SEC academic. Scotty Thurman puts Arkansas in front 34-33.
Jimmy's played 65 games in his career, and only 5 times has he failed to hit a 3, and that one of those was the other night when he was 0 for 5.
Capel kicks it back out. This is a 3. Hill short. Lang follows. Lang has it stripped by Thurman off Lang's knee.
Excellent concentration by Scotty Thurman. He saw Lang coming down, waited for him, and stripped it.
1 minute to go in the half, and Arkansas with a 1-point lead.
Mike Krzyzewski able to rest Cherokee Parks quite a bit in this first half, wanting to keep the game as close as he can for as long as he can.
Dillard gives it up beautifully. Strip, what a block by Grant Hill. Dillard with a 3. And it ends up in Grant Hill's hands.
Jim, I said he could guard any one of 5 positions on the floor. That time he guarded 2 in one sequence. Mike Krzyzewski wanting the last shot. Arkansas man-to-man.
Hill could add that block to his Final Four highlight film that started with a dunk against Kansas.
And Jim, here's that 5-second count.
Well, they got a lot of time and intercepted by Hill.
Backcourt, he's right. The reason for it is Grant Hill was in the air, Jim, when he caught the ball. So his last contact with the floor was in the front court. As he goes in the air, he'll go to the backcourt. Now watch this. The last contact front court, now he goes to the backcourt. The fans may be booing, saying he never had control of the ball, but the official was right on it.
Final 5 seconds. McDaniel challenging, driving, giving it up. Robinson at the buzzer. The 1-point game at the intermission. Great first half. How did you like it, Billy?
Excellent. Both teams playing well.
It's into the first half. The score, Arkansas 34-33. CBS. Corliss Williamson, he had 12 attempts in the first half, made only 5 of them. You see Clint McDaniel will begin the second half. Arkansas has not lost a game this season when it led at halftime. Although Duke 7 times trailed, 6 times came back to win. Lang missed the chippy. Parks follows.
Another excellent pass by Grant Hill. And Jim, here's the lineup I think we're going to see Nolan Richardson use more for an extended period of time in the second half. This is their best club.
Gave it up at the last second. Great assist by Corey Beck.
And how about Williamson thinking the shot was going up, but being able to keep his head turned enough to realize that if a pass came that he could catch it.
Capel in the lane. And Beck wants to push it up the floor. Beck banks it home.
Grant Hill got a piece of the ball, and Beck caught it midair and still put it in. Great concentration. You talk about those Arkansas runs, Jim. Everybody that's played them this year worries about it.
They call it at Arkansas the breaking point. They're looking for it in every game. Capel.
Williamson, not a great shot blocker. Only blocked 37 this year. He's a position defender inside.
Back 3-pointer. Hill way up for the board.
One of the reasons Duke has a hard time doubling down because Arkansas, and particularly Stewart, is a guy that can hit from the outside.
Coming up to double up. Hill. Capel took his eye off of it for a moment. McDaniel thought it was all ball. They say he got a piece of the arm in a 2-shot situation.
Boy, McDaniel really thought about that play extremely well. Though, watch it. He knows what Grant Hill's going to do. Look at how great he moves his feet. Now he's back there waiting on Grant Hill on the turn, but does get caught for the foul. Great defender.
Morse family is rooting for Arkansas. Grant Hill's mother, Janet, was Hillary Rodham's suite mate their freshman year at Wellesley College.
Good backdoor cut.
Hill with the board. He's had a couple of big rebounds. 7 for the game.
You know, Grant Hill has got a great vertical leap, doesn't he, Jim? You don't realize it because he just explodes. Seems like he only goes up as high as he has to, and I don't know if he has a limit.
Well, he had to get up high against Kansas back in '91. I'll never forget that. Collins, his second of the game, a three-pointer. That puts Duke ahead by 4, 42-38.
Great push up the floor by Arkansas, and Williamson was waiting on him. They didn't get him the ball.
Backing him in, and Hill stripped it away. 3-on-1 Duke to Lang.
And this is a little bit shocking to the Arkansas players. Normally, they make the run on the break.
First on Thurman.
Well, look at who makes the play. Grant Hill with a strip when Williamson had him beat. Excellent decision-making here by Collins. A 3-on-1 break, well executed. Collins gets Thurman to a point that he has to make a decision to play the ball or play the lane. Perfect timing by Duke and a great play by Lang. I want to point out something about Lang, Jim. In the 5 losses this year for Duke, Tony Lang averaged 7 a game. In the rest of the games that they win, he's 13.4 a game. This could be his 13th point.
What we talked about in the first half, Billy, some say is he goes, so go the Devils. And here comes Duke again. Arkansas has not trailed by this many the entire tournament. Capel, double-digit lead. That's a three-pointer.
Now, is Richardson going to call a timeout? You got to remember, as great as Arkansas is, they are a young team.
Timeout, Razorbacks.
Jim, that must be some pretty good genes in that family. He looked quick, and he has a brother that's about 6'6" in the 8th grade. A dad who's an outstanding coach, and a brother's not doing bad as a freshman.
His brother Jason, who will be a college player, they say, Division I someday. Here's Robinson launching. Freshman way too strong. Hill again skying for the board.
Not the shot that a coach would want for his team coming out of a timeout. You got to get a better one than that. And here's that 5-second count I talked about, Jim. How it favors Duke, because Grant Hill can keep that ball in his hands so long. Starks is open.
Capel, if you leave me open, I'll take it. Comes up with an air ball. Thurman back to back. Thurman.
Boy, he's so smooth.
That stops the Duke run. They had 13 unanswered. Robinson now guarding Hill.
Robinson touched it, I believe. He didn't?
Nope.
Oh, I thought he did. Yes, you're right. I thought he changed the flow of that ball. Evidently not.
Back. Right again underneath.
Look at those hands.
Behind the back, Hill to Capel looking for a timeout.
Oh, nobody's calling it yet.
And it comes into the hands of Grant Hill. Way down in the corner.
Collins has got to think better than that. Well, we're going to see a scramble here.
Look at Beck fighting for it, though.
Grant Hill gets a piece of it off Robinson in the face. Grant behind the back. It goes down. Williamson gets it.
Foul from behind on Grant Hill. His second.
You know, sometimes, Jim, Chris Collins gets so fired up and excited that he loses concentration.
They beat him on the inbounds. Back to Williamson.
Third inbounds pass for a score in this game. Very unusual for two good teams to give that up. Arkansas battling back in that timeout.
Cut it to 6. Hill.
Great curl move by Grant Hill.
Hill has 9 now for Duke. Scotty Thurman, 3. Got the roll and the bounce.
And I thought he got hit on the elbow as well.
Thurman, who played on the same Olympic Festival team with Capel and Capel, an assist to Park. Didn't look like much knee problem action there underneath.
Sensational play by Parks. Realized that Robinson had it blocked and took it under the rim.
Robinson rejected by Parks. Beck and 1.
No excuse to not have a guard blocked out. Beck showing that heart that Nolan Richardson talks about.
Cherokee's 3rd.
You'll see the play. Nice pass by Williamson inside. There's the good block, but nobody blocks out Beck. Comes right down the lane to put it back.
Beck, only 6'2", has 5 rebounds. He'll shoot Arkansas's first free throw of the game.
Jim, what else we're seeing for the very first time, with 14:10 to go, the first substitution for Duke. It looks like Mike Krzyzewski's saying, hey, we're going to go with the starters. Clark in.
Clark in, back at the line. 3-point play. Corliss Williamson said, Coach Richardson is the brains of our team, but Corey is the heart. And he's played with that so far. Duke 52, Arkansas 48.
Grant Hill spending more time down inside, trying to rest him a little bit. And here comes that curl again.
Hill, back to the rim. Beck wants to run with it.
5-on-2.
Sees Thurman behind, right inside to Williamson. Stewart. Arkansas has cut it to 2.
Starting to see some signs of fatigue. Mike Krzyzewski recognizes it, and he's calling timeout.
Duke timeout. Arkansas making a run of its own. 50.
5 against 2 for Duke, and that's why there was a timeout call for Mike Krzyzewski. A wearied club right here, and he needs to give him a rest. Stewart for the tap-in.
That's McDaniel. Go Razorbacks, he says. A 12-4 run for the Hogs.
Nice double down.
Parks fires it anyway.
Duke getting no offensive boards anymore.
Beck somehow swung it over. McDaniel now. This for the tie. He'll go to the line. Corliss Williamson.
I think it's Hill's 3rd on the reach-in, Jim. So many times what happens to a guy like Grant Hill is he tries to cover not only his own man, but reach in to help others. Great interior passing by Arkansas. Set that up.
3 on Hill, 3 on Parks. 2 free throws for the man whose favorite player in basketball plays right here, Larry Johnson. Has a big poster of him back in his room in Fayetteville. That's his man, Larry Johnson, says Nolan Richardson.
Well, Jim, this young man, of course, had the foot injury to start his freshman year, missed 13 games, came on strong once he got in shape. And here's a turnover.
Hill tried to save it, too late. Got a glimpse of Williamson's father and brother. And now Arkansas down 1 with a chance to get back in front. Meek in, Collins in.
Little crack in the sidewalk there for Duke on that play. You notice it was relatively easy catch for Clark. When he didn't catch it, he turned to Parks as if it was Parks' fault. Supposed to catch a ball in your hands. Meek can have a hard time with Williamson. He's so much quicker.
There's that matchup. Williamson in and out. Meek with the rebound. 6 rebounds for Meek today off the bench.
Jim, what Grant Hill has to be careful of now is dribbling the ball and picking up the charge.
Hill finds a slicing Ling.
Arkansas quicker and fresher at this point in the game.
15 turnovers by Duke. Beck draws the foul, will shoot a couple. As he backed in, Marty Clark. At the conclusion of this game, we will select the Chevrolet players of the game in conjunction with the award. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school.
Jim, Nolan Richardson talked about Beck being the heart and soul, but he said, I wish he'd shoot more. He only averages 5 shots a game on the year. Tonight being much more aggressive looking for his shot, and it's paying off.
He tried to explain to me the difference, Nolan. He said that Beck, unlike most college players who play to play, Beck plays to win.
I thought it was the key in the ball game the other day against Arizona. Beck picks up his 4th. Reeves only has 3. They don't go to Reeves to go ahead and get Beck out of the ball game. Reeves picks up his 4th. Nolan Richardson made a very smart move getting Beck out of the game, and then he came in to finish it up without ever fouling out. The real turning point in the ball game.
The one free throw ties the game at 52. 12:30 remaining.
Nice reversal of the ball for Cherokee.
Clark off the pick. Won't take it, but Grant will. Three-pointer. No Duke players underneath.
Arkansas getting every rebound on both ends.
Thurman setting up the three-pointer. Cherokee. Someone got a piece of the arm, either Stewart or Williamson. They'll call it on Williamson. His 2nd.
Arkansas is so much tougher to defend when they go inside first and then out. You'll see coming over the back. Cherokee gets it, and there's the grab. I said Nolan Richardson would stay with this solid lineup a lot more in the second half, Jim. He bounced around with a lot of different combinations in the first half. No easy baskets.
Wow, no call. Steal by the Razorbacks. Good pass, Williamson cutting through. Missed the lay-in, no call.
Well, that's about evens it up. Watch it, Grant Hill doesn't see Williamson laying down.
2-on-1. Williamson one more time. And Grant Hill.
That's a foul on Williamson.
How about that? He had a 2-on-1 Corliss at McDaniel over there, and Hill the only one defending.
Jim, here you can see Williamson was laying on the floor. Grant Hill had no idea it was there, and I said, watch out. Of course, he couldn't have known that he was coming, but what a defensive job by Grant Hill on Williamson on the inside. And here, finally, the foul is called.
What comes out of that is an extra foul on Williamson, his 3rd.
Jim, probably a pretty good turnaround there, because I thought that Marty Clark was fouled on one end, and I thought Williamson was fouled on this end. So that evens it up.
Corliss to the bench for 3, replaced by Robinson.
Now, will Mike Krzyzewski let Parks sit down with the score tied for a few minutes to rest him? Might be something to think about. You can't have Williamson back in fresh. Parks is having his hands full as it is. Great double team.
Capel, there was no Duke player there, but Robinson let it come off his hands out of bounds.
I think Robinson was surprised the ball came to him. Came up off that floor awful hot.
Lang has it taken away. McDaniel, a 4-4 sprinter. Fastest Razorback, Clint McDaniel, puts Arkansas ahead 54-52. And Capel better be careful. He's making some scary passes from the Duke perspective. Lang outside.
Hold the string on that one. And Duke really frustrated now. They can't get an offense going. And even with Williamson down, it's the Arkansas 40 minutes of hell being compressed into about 6 minutes here of great defense.
Stewart, three-pointer. Meek. And they'll call that one right there on Beck.
And Jim, we see that number 31 on the Arkansas jerseys, signifying, we talked about a senior starting tonight, but one player that didn't, of course, get an opportunity to start in this ball game.
Roger Crawford.
Roger Crawford, who is missing from the lineup and would have made that bench even deeper, out with a broken foot, standing there on the sidelines.
Nolan said that number 31 also represents the fact that we win this game, it'll be our 31st of the season.
Well, Arkansas has only had 3 30-win seasons, and every time they got to the Final Four.
Hill floating. Parks following. Duke ties it 54 all.
Even when Grant Hill doesn't score, it seems like he creates something either with the pass or gets an opportunity for a teammate because they put so much pressure on him.
They had not scored, Billy, in 8 straight trips before that one. Alex Dillard now with Collins manning him.
You can see Collins not wanting to give him 1 inch to get off the shot. And here he comes.
Meek got him with the body.
See Grant Hill on the drive. That little double clutch shot of his. And because there were 2 men and almost 3 coming over to try to stop him, it allowed Parks to be wide open.
Dillard lost it going up. Robinson saves it. Swinging around. Good passing. Capel. He got up there high for that rebound. Duke now looking to go back ahead. Game tied at 54.
Williamson getting a nice rest, Jim. As I said, I'm surprised Mike Krzyzewski hasn't given Parks an opportunity to sit down with Williamson out.
Ball deflected by Robinson. Razorbacks steal it again.
Stewart was thinking about going up with a 3.
Robinson.
He can shoot that ball.
Yep.
He's not afraid to shoot from the outside.
They got some big guys, Robinson and Stewart, both who can shoot it from the perimeter.
Right, he's 7 for 23 from 3, so he's not bashful of taking a shot from the foul line.
Arkansas leads by 2.
Hand checking again. They just have called that all night long.
That's on Thurman. Thurman's second.
Here's what we talk about. Watch the hand checking on Grant Hill. Thurman, a cheap foul. But if they're going to call it early, and this is what you want of officials, they've been consistent all night, they're still calling it late.
That's the 6th team foul on Arkansas. Next one puts Duke in the 1-and-1. Williamson back in the lineup for the Hogs.
Grant Hill asked to come out.
Capel. Over the back, Lang.
And who did he go over the bank? None other than Corey Beck. He has been everywhere tonight. Offensive glass, defensive glass.
2nd on Lang, 6th on Duke. So the next Duke foul will put Arkansas in the 1-and-1. 8:20 remaining.
So one of our keys, Duke not dominating the foul line. A big advantage for Arkansas.
Dillard. They say that's against Lang. So 2 quick ones on Antonio, and that gives him 3 now. 3 fouls for the game.
Jim, what's happening here? Dillard is just so quick. We saw Meek pick up a foul on him just a while ago, and now Lang doing likewise. Lang, who picked up that huge charge to end the Florida game, not quick enough to get over there against Dillard.
So Dillard will be in a 1-and-1. He had 39 in the game this year against Delaware State. That included 12 made 3-pointers. Rebound to Stewart. Here's Dillard now.
He's amazing. You give him an inch, and he takes a mile, boy. Such a quick release.
Arkansas looking for a breaking point, perhaps. On the line, McDaniel. Arkansas has come back from 10 down to lead by 5. An official's timeout. Razorbacks 59-54. All-time shooter in tournament history over Walton has now dropped behind him, 7 of 21 tonight, and Duke with 20 turnovers. Look at the tension for the wives. Mickey Krzyzewski and Rose Richardson. Duke trails by 5 with 7:49 remaining.
It's got to be Grant Hill time, Jim, for Duke. They have not had good looks at the basket. Not playing well since they had that good run. Grant Hill can't get it.
Clark. And again, all Arkansas underneath.
Right. The real key players for Duke offensively. Parks and Hill have not been able to get looks at the basket on this tremendous defensive run by Arkansas.
Long rebound to Hill.
I thought McDaniel got hit on the arm on that one.
Grant Hill with 12 rebounds tonight. Capel shakes away from McDaniel. Gets the bounce also.
McDaniel trying to play too much for the steal. Normally he plays better defense than that.
Dillard, he could see it coming. Williamson tips it over the top. Last touch by Grant Hill, they say.
Jim, you mentioned Dillard and that great shooting. He did not shoot a jump shot until 1991. He said he used to shoot a standstill a la Larry Bird one-hander and just developed that jump shot in the last 3 years.
Unbelievably quick release. Look at this. Stewart. He made 11 out of 15 in the tournament from three-point land, and Williamson follows it up.
How about those hands?
And a block call against Stewart.
That's a big break for Duke, because now you're finding Duke trying to do things that are not in the offense. Stewart makes 2 plays he'd like to have back. That one, getting the block, and that three-pointer kind of ill-advised.
Billy, when Duke had that burst early in this half, he started the half making 7 out of 10 from the field. But since then, only 1 of 10. Clark will shoot a couple.
2 reasons for that, Jim, in my mind. The 2 guys, again, Parks and Hill have not had good looks at the basket. And the other thing, and the reason for that, is Arkansas's great defense. And with 6:33 to go, I think it's all over for the bench. From now on, guys are going to have to gut it out.
61-57, Arkansas. Dillard, that was a line drive, and Hill gets above everyone for the rebound. Hill suspended in air, does not get the roll.
It's amazing to me that on shots, Duke is not able to get any offensive boards. Nobody really going for position.
Capel blocked it, but they call him for the push. That'll send Beck to the line for a couple.
We talked about the 9 offensive boards that Arkansas got in the first half. In the second half, it has been one and done for Duke on their end of the floor.
Antonio Lang in there. He heard at the press conferences yesterday how 5 of the Razorbacks, including Corey Beck, have pet snakes. Beck has a 9-foot python named Truth that lives in his dorm room. Lang said, hey, I can answer that. He has a pit bull at home.
I like that story where the snake sleeps with Stewart. Now, how would you like to have a roommate that lets the snake out of the cage and crawls on you? I don't believe I'd buy that one.
Arkansas has made 4 out of 8 from the line.
And it's Arkansas dominating Duke from the line at this point with more attempts. Grant Hill trying to post up on Beck.
Clint McDaniel back in for Arkansas. Number 12. And a whistle away, and it's going to be on Beck. He held up Hill trying to get to the wing. And that's a 1-on-1 situation now, Billy.
Jim, what's happening right here is Grant Hill fights for position. Now, when a man gets open like this, they caught Beck for grabbing Grant Hill's pants, but Grant probably pushed off getting away from Corey Beck. But when a guy goes in a low post like Hill with a smaller man on it, the passer's got to be ready to hit him before he gets exactly open.
1-and-1.
First offensive rebound I can remember.
There's 3, and that's a huge 3 for Duke. That cuts the lead to 2. 3 threes tonight by Collins.
And now with Parks out of the game, it's Lang down on Williamson.
Thurman. Williamson on the line.
Mike Krzyzewski resting Cherokee Park, something I thought he'd do a little earlier, so he'd have him for the last 5 or 6 minutes. It looks like Mike's going to hold him out to about 4. You kind of get a feeling Collins is getting confidence in his stroke, Jim.
No question.
You know,
no question.
He's staying right with the shot. Arkansas goes to a zone, and that means Collins is open. Jim, a big move. Collins with confidence. Arkansas made a mistake there.
2 straight threes by Collins puts Duke ahead. Under 5 remaining. Beck in traffic. Capel reached in first.
Well, if anybody needed an exclamation point on what Nolan Richardson said the other day about Corey Beck is putting it on for himself. He has been the man of the hour, and there's what I'm talking about. The follow-through on Collins' shot is there tonight.
He first went to the Final Four in 1981 when his dad, right there, Doug, was playing for the 76ers. He went to see Isaiah in Indiana win the national championship. He took young Chris to that game at the Spectrum.
His dad, of course, one of the all-time great pure shooters. A member of that fabled 72 Olympic team that lost to the Soviet Union.
Now for the lead, back. Arkansas back in front. Oh, and a steal on the inbound. And this is going to go against Grant Hill. This was going to be Billy on Grant Hill, his 4th.
You heard Grant scream out as he released that ball.
Well, they call that, Billy. They're going to call that on Clark instead.
Wow, what a big break for Duke.
They're going to call it on Clark, only his 2nd.
Huge break for Duke. 2nd fumble on an out of bounds.
Watch the foul, Billy.
Well, and maybe he, yes, I think so. You know, they
reached in.
Yeah, they got Clark on the chop.
2 shots. Duke with 10 team fouls. It's a double bonus the rest of the way.
Such a solid player. Went to the line over 200 times this year, shooting 70%. There's no weakness in this man's game.
He's a drama minor at Arkansas, and it will be great theater the rest of the way. Arkansas leads 65-63. Hill for the tie. Clark saves it. Capel. 65 all.
He really has that bounce step, doesn't he? He goes in there, gets the jump stop, goes right back up, not afraid to go inside. At 6'5", he'll challenge the big fellas. And again, going back to what Coach Smith said, he's not a freshman anymore. Look at the strength of Williamson.
They got it in underneath, and Williamson puts Arkansas back in front. 20 for Williamson. Dangerous pass. Capel. Short. Out to Clark for the tie. Last touch by McDaniel. And here comes Cherokee. Cherokee will come in. An official's timeout under 4 minutes. Duke basketball when we come back.
Story is, Jim, you said during that timeout, this may be the best game you've ever been involved with, and I certainly have to agree with you. 2 great teams, well coached, executing to perfection. 2-3 zone now by Arkansas. Let's see if Collins can find a hole. Corliss Williamson remembers where he came from last time.
Ooh, tough pass.
That's the freshman trying to do more than's there. And Capel was thinking the same thing we were, and that is Chris has got the hot hand getting the ball, but they got to rotate that ball from Hill over.
Arkansas, Stewart, partially blocked by Hill, but Williamson in one.
Too strong. From a man that was the greatest high school player in Arkansas history, closing in to, you could say, the greatest college player, distancing the great Sidney Moncrief, the way this guy's going. That was almost a Derek Wittenberg, Lorenzo Charles type 3, right?
That one partially deflected by Hill, really in the end hurts Duke.
Yep.
So Williamson for the three-point play, and Arkansas leads 70-65.
And they stay in the 2-3 zone. Grant Hill's going to have to get the ball in the middle.
Tough pass, but a reach around called on Stewart. And that's the 9th on Arkansas, so it's a 1-and-1 for Duke this last time.
Jim, how unusual it is to look at this time in the game up at the scoreboard and see that Duke has committed more fouls than their opponent.
Antonio Lang, part of this senior class. Lang, Hill, and Clark, 18-1 in the NCAAs in their career. 2 national championships. Billy, it's been a long time since players had 3 championship crowns.
Hollifield and Farmer from UCLA, the last to do it.
Back in 1973. 15 for Lang tonight. Knocked down a couple of that time, and Arkansas with the ball leads by 3 with 3 minutes to go. Beck got around them. Blocked by Hill.
Oh, what a defender he is.
Capel. Blocked by Williamson. And Beck breaks free. 4-on-2. Thurman on the wing. Lets one player fly by. Long rebound to Parks. What a block. 2 of them.
Right. Our 2 superstars we featured at the top of the show getting it done on defense as well as offense. Williamson with that tremendous hustle and speed. The best transition for a big man I've seen in college ball.
Capel. This would...
His feet weren't set.
Thurman rebound.
And who's down court already? Williamson, waiting for the low post.
He's in phenomenal shape, Billy. Williamson.
He is. And how about Nolan Richardson now saying, okay, Duke, you've used the strategy before to spread people out. Coach Dean Smith has seen this before, the fabled 4 corners.
Final 2 minutes for the title. 5 on the shot clock. Stewart.
The referees didn't realize it, I think. Grant Hill could have moved that ball up more.
That rebound by Hill gives him a career high. Now he goes for the tie. He gets it. '70-70, 1:20 to go. Timeout, Arkansas. Stage. Game tied 70 all with 1:12 remaining.
Little 1-4 set. Nolan Richardson did not spread it.
Under 10 on the shot clock.
Stewart's open.
Stewart. 1 on the shot clock. Thurman beat it. Oh! He got it. 3-pointer.
Huge arch on that. He had to do it to get it over Lang's hands.
The shot clock went off, Billy. As he released it, Collins now with a 3.
Not a good idea, Jim. Try to get it too quick. And if you foul, it's 2 shots.
And there it is. They'll send McDaniel to the line for a couple. Scotty Thurman.
Watch the arch he puts on this to get it over Lang, way above his normal arch, and drains it.
And again, the shot clock elapsed as the ball was on its way, as long as it leaves the hand first.
Correct. Then it must hit the rim, but in that particular case, it hit the rim inside.
Duke looked very unsettled at the other end.
I thought Collins, he had a lot of time. He didn't need to take that quick 3.
McDaniel. McDaniel, who grew up in Tulsa, went to games at Tulsa when Richardson was the coach there. All the way back to the 5th grade, he knew he wanted to play for this man. Got one of them. Makes it a 2-possession game, Billy.
Right, they might as well go for 2 here, not worry about 3.
Collins in the lane. Collins missed the lay-in. Rebound Beck. And he's fouled from behind by Lang. Marty Clark in for Lang, who has fouled out with 15.
And Jim, his defensive play in trying to force Thurman to shoot that jumper just didn't get that.
We'll shoot two here. Beck. Ooh. Beck at the line after getting the rebound at the other end.
Now, Jim, still, if he hits this one, it's still a two-possession game for Duke. A 3 and a 2 will get it there. But with 2-shot fouls, it makes it very difficult to stop that clock with a foul. And it's going to put Arkansas on the line for 2 more. And Beck has got a cut hand. Now, he has to come out of the game. They can put in any shooter they want. Any shooter on the Arkansas team can come in to shoot this free throw. Now you go down the line.
Might want to bring like a Dillard in.
Well, Rematch has got 78%. They're going to go down there and get the hand, the cut covered.
So it has to be dressed.
It's going to be Dillard.
Yep.
Dillard comes in to shoot. He's an 80% free throw shooter, 32 for 40. Has not taken as many shots as Rematch, but 80%, not bad.
We'll shoot one. We'll shoot the second, what should have been Beck's. So now Dillard comes right in and makes it a 5-point lead.
Still tool work.
Capel takes the 3 though. Rebound Collins puts it in, and a timeout Duke with 10.2 to go. 75-72 Arkansas. 10.2 seconds remaining.
Jim, you got to think of who you'd want to foul here. Everybody that's going to catch it, pretty good foul shooter, particularly McDaniel out there. Corey Beck is back in the game, bandaged up. And Jim, here is the play of the game. Lang going out on Thurman. Scotty goes up, realizes Lang a great shot blocker. Look at the arch on that, and there's the 0, and right down through the hoop. Sensational play as a great jump shooter altered his shot above the defender.
Ooh.
This is huge right here. Because Duke could tie with a 3. A made shot here makes it 2-possession game.
McDaniel, one more. Clark.
Too much time. Too much time.
Great defense, Arkansas. They take it away. McDaniel will end it in style. Arkansas is in hog heaven. They've won the first ever national championship.